You know when the glasses come out is when the shit about to be kind of fucked, and things that I'm going to be talking about are pretty serious. Because a lot of them happened long enough ago that I feel perfectly fine and comfortable talking about it. Now, here's the thing, a lot's happened. This is going to be a long video. I'm basically going to be recapping the last 3 years because I haven't recapped since 2020. So here's the 2021, 2022, 2023 recap, because 2024 hasn't finished yet and there's a lot more to happen in 2024. So I'm going to recap 2024 at the end of 2024. Sound like a plan? I feel like that sounds like a plan. Hi. I haven't sat down and filmed a video probably in a couple of years. So if I'm a little rusty, I apologize. But we're going to talk about the last few years. Shall we do that? Because there's a lot to get through. I have my own personal things that have happened in the past 3 years that you guys are going to bear witness to. Let's in fact start at the beginning of 2021. See, the beginning of 2021, I had just failed my bachelor's for the second time, which was a huge thing, and wasn't helped by the teacher we had, but I'm not going to badmouth or out him or his name. We will call him Spud, and we'll call the other teacher that gave me shit, who happened to be a radical feminist. Very, very, very close to a TERF. I'm not gonna lie to you. She was very, very, very close to a TERF, to the point where she asked me, yeah, but what's the point in trans people? Ma'am, I'm the wrong person to be saying that kind of shit to. I have two trans brothers. Two. I have a younger trans brother and I have an older trans brother. Both of whom are very comfortable in who they are, and they've discovered who they are, and I'm very proud of them and good for them. That was beginning of 2021. I just failed my bachelor's for the second time. I tried it twice, didn't happen. I'm not an academic. They discovered this, even though I feel like I did a really good job. They didn't think I did a good job, so they failed me twice. The second time I failed my bachelor's, they gave me a script about a girl who goes through SA. And as a survivor of SA, yes, I'm a survivor of SA, I didn't really appreciate being given that. They knew my background. They knew that my mental health wasn't the best. They knew that my mental health came off of a lot of experiences in my life that I cannot control and I can't go back and change. And even if I could, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. So I have a more healthy relationship with my mental health than I did back in the day. However, this was still not an excuse to give me a play about a girl who goes through SA. We started noticing things about my dad. My dad started losing a lot of weight and started not really being able to eat. But like, at the beginning, it was okay because we just thought that maybe he was losing weight because of his age, because he was in his 70s. And we just thought that that maybe was why he was losing weight, because as you get older, your appetite gets less, you get skinnier. So we thought, oh, that's just him losing weight naturally, as you do when you age. But he was losing it so rapidly. It was going... We weren't really sure why. We had no idea why, in fact, to the point where we were like, what's happening? So we bought him tins of like a build-up, like essentially like a protein powder, like a protein drink, right? To get his protein up and his nutrients and all his vitamins. They didn't do anything. He didn't put any weight on. We tried getting him into the doctors for months of 2021. All of this was happening whilst I had a stalker situation because of an ex-friend of mine who decided that it would be a good idea to drive by my house in the evenings or sit outside my house while she ate McDonald's. Or, you know, just in general was stalking me. Genuinely was literally stalking me, to the point where I saw her a couple of times out and about. Just kind of ignored her and got on with my life, but it was not exactly fun. In 2021, we also had a shooter in our area. That certainly wasn't on my bingo card for that year, was having just a shooting happen in the local area. I don't know what YouTube's line of like, you shouldn't say that is on YouTube, so I will just leave it at that. I'm not going to go into too many details, but all I can tell you is that they were very, very close to my house, and the only reason that they were able to be stopped was because they were unalived by the police, by the armed police. Which is, if the armed police is around where you are and there are helicopters going above, you know that something serious has really gone down. Like, shit's hit the fan. Like, things are really, really, really bad. I still had my stalker situation, which was fun. She started dating a guy that was local to me and then doxed me in a YouTube comment saying, but I live in the same area as you, where this shooting happened. I no longer live in that area. I used to live in Plymouth, and there was a shooting in Plymouth. You can look it up. It's there. I lived like 2 or 3 streets down from where it happened, and I could hear the gunshots, and it wasn't exactly the best thing in the whole entire world. And we heard the helicopters. So that happened in 2021. Nothing else really happened through 2021. We were threatened many times with being evicted, but from the house that we were living in at the time. And I started my journey on Twitch, which I'm still doing, by the way. I've just been taking a bit of a break because of health reasons, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Or in a bit, because we're going through 2021 right now. This is just 2021 that I'm talking about. And then it got towards the end of 2021. And Dad was getting worse, to the point where he couldn't eat without bringing it back up again. He couldn't drink without having to spit it out again, because it just wouldn't go down his throat. And we kept on buying him the build-up drinks because we thought that maybe that would help in some way. We knew that something serious was going on, but we weren't sure what it was. And there was a lot of tension in the house, and a lot of us racking our brains trying to think of what it was. Eventually, in the end of 2021, so he started showing symptoms probably almost mid-2021. It wasn't until December 2021, I believe it was like the 3rd, or something like that, that we finally got in to see the doctor. He finally got in, and the doctor took one look and said, okay, we're going to do some blood tests and stuff, and we're gonna and things, and we're gonna sort that out, and we're gonna see if we can get the results like expedited real quick. And they didn't need to, because before they even hit the house, he got a phone call saying, you need to get to the hospital and get an appointment. Like, you need to, we're going to refer you to the throat doctor, like, to check your throat, because your throat's not supposed to look like that, essentially, is what they were saying. And so they got him in, and he was meant to have a camera put down his gullet to see what was going on and to see what the issue was. They couldn't get it down because there was a growth in his esophagus, and they did a biopsy and he was given 6 months to live because he had terminal stage 4, a very rare actually form of esophageal cancer, which of course he did because his dad, he would get that, wouldn't he? I don't know the exact like details of it because I didn't ask, because I didn't want to know. All that I knew is that my dad was dying, and that was kind of a big deal to me because that was my dad, and I was very much a daddy's girl. I loved my dad. He brought me up to be the person I am now. I owe a lot of who I am today to him. So my dad was diagnosed on the 6th. And then he lasted 2 weeks. He passed away on the 26th of December 2021. Which was the beginning of the end of my motivation, and my mental health deteriorated exponentially. Weeks after he died, our lovely landlord decided it would be a good idea to evict us in the middle of us mourning my dad. And on the day of his funeral, this man went to court to sign the papers officially for eviction, so that when we got back from his funeral, there they were, just on the doormat from where he'd posted them in our door himself, and they were just there. We didn't get his body to cremate until mid-January, because it was such like a traumatic death that they had to see what occurred and how it happened, and because it got to a point where they were trying to save him, they were trying to bring him back, and he said stop. They were trying everything, and he just told them to stop because he was in too much pain. He didn't want to be in pain anymore, and it was not the way that any of us wanted him to go. So they made him comfortable. My mum got a call at like 1 a.m. and then he died at about 3:30. And that was that. So my dad died, and then it was his funeral on Valentine's Day, and then we got evicted in March, and we were homeless. The council, in their infinite wisdom, decided to put my mum up in a hotel for a couple of months and to leave me homeless. I had nowhere else to go but to sleep on my uncle's couch, which is what I did. And during this time of upheaval and mourning, because we were still mourning my dad, it took me, I mean, I'm still not even over it now. It's going to take me a long time to be fully over my dad's passing, or be past it to the point where I don't cry every time I look at his ashes, which are right here, by the way. Oh. I'm never going to be over my dad's passing. There's going to be milestones that happen in the next few years for me that are set to happen that my dad's not going to be there for. And those are going to be moments that I'm going to just melt, and I'm going to be devastated. And you never get over a parent's passing. That's just something that you never get over. None of us are. All of us have a sore spot in some way about talking about my dad. Whether it be just memories of him for some, or the fact that he is gone for others. For me, it's pointing out all the life milestones that I will have in my coming future that he won't be around for. If I have a pang of realizing he won't be there to walk me down the aisle, or to hold my first child, or even all my children, or be there for their first day of school, or be able to look at pictures of them on the holidays. So I sleep on my uncle's couch, right, for a year of sleeping on my uncle's couch, and in that time a lot happened. I got into a very, very, very unhealthy relationship, and when I say very, very unhealthy, it got to the point where like even my friends who were around me were telling me to break up with this man, and I just didn't. And they may have been very confused as to why. I'm going to give you reasons. And the reason that I was with this guy for as long as I was, I mean, I was only with him for about 2 or 3 months. But he kept pointing out the fact that I was still with him, and he was so happy and glad that I was still with him, and essentially gaslighting me into staying with him by saying, oh, you know, I've been in other relationships in the past, but none of them have stuck around for more than like 2 months. And I was like, oh, why? You seem like a decent guy. Like, what's the reason? It turned out that he was a bit of a narcissist, and I don't use that word lightly. I don't generally go around calling people narcissists. It's occurring to me that I forgot to say the reason why I was with him. And the reason was that I'd just gone through the passing of my dad, and I was very emotionally and mentally vulnerable. And I needed some form of just kind of comfort.
And somehow, in some way, for some reason, I thought that he was a good candidate for that. Turns out he wasn't. But I think I'm explaining it. So I will allow past me to carry on. Or carry on, me.
Only interested in how he was feeling and how his brain worked and how his mental health was being affected by things and how satisfied he was, like, sexually and all that kind of stuff. Kind of friends now-ish. I don't really talk to him. I've not really spoken to him since we broke up, apart from like small conversations here and there of him catching me up with how his life's going, which generally is like, oh, I've got a partner, and then like a couple months later it's like, I've got a new partner. I'm like, cool. So I was with this guy for about 2 or 3 months, and then I met Swarm is what we will call him, because his actual name is not really out there for the public to know. He's Swarm. Everybody in my friend group and in general, like in my life, know him as Swarm, apart from my family, who know him as his actual name. I met Swarm because of my ex, and I'm still with Swarm to this day. 2 years. It's been 2 years. Just over 2 years. It was 2 years on the 6th of June. So, he's a good man, and he's taken care of me really well over the past couple of years. He's actually helped me with my body confidence and helped me just in general with everything else. And he tries his best, which is all I can really ask of somebody. I'm not going to ask him for perfection where perfection cannot be found, is essentially what I've told him. So I met him, and we started officially dating on June the 6th, but we started talking at the end of May, which is just after I broke up with my ex. But at least we waited like a week or two, you know? Me and Swarm didn't count each other as serious until about month 3. But Swarm was different. I don't know what it was. I don't know what kept or has kept me around all this time fully. I can give guesses, like how much I love him, which is a lot, by the way. I love him a lot, and he is the love of my life. I mean, I don't know whether it was that or if it's just like his ability to build up my confidence, or his ability to make the people around him feel comfortable, or I don't know. All I can say is I'm very content and I'm very happy, and have been for 2 years without any kind of breakup. Never broken up with the man, and he's never broken up with me, and he's made it very clear he's not going to, and I've made it very clear that I'm not going to. So we're stuck with each other essentially. And he's always so understanding and always very patient. He has a lot of patience for me, which I think is probably one of the other reasons why I love him. I celebrated my 1 year 1 year anniversary in 2022 of streaming, because I'd started streaming in September of 2021, which I didn't specify in 2021, but you get the idea. I celebrated my 1 year in 2022 with people that I used to hang out with and no longer hang out with for reasons I'll make clear in a minute. I won't go into detail, but all I'll say is that a lot of people left my community, but you'll hear about that in a minute. So I celebrated that. That happened in September. Nothing really happened in between because it was 2022, and 2022 kind of went with issues, and there was a lot of mental issues that I had because my dad had just died and we'd been evicted. So I was kind of, and I was dealing with the fact that I was homeless. But Swarm genuinely made everything much better. He came at a time when I thought that maybe I wouldn't stick around and I wouldn't see where my life would go next. I was very much in that place of not really wanting to be around anymore. But he got me out of that. So I had to sleep during the day. We essentially slept in shifts. I slept in shifts with my mum for a year because she would sleep on the sofa during the night and then get woken up from the sofa to go into the bed in the morning when my uncle got up, and then I would go to the sofa and go to sleep in the morning, and then not wake up until the evening. That was the routine. And it did nothing for my health because I was eating during the night, not during the day. I wasn't eating 3 meals a day. I was eating essentially whatever was in the fridge or freezer. So I was putting on a shit ton of weight essentially at that point. And there are photos to show. Hang on. There's one in here that I can show you because my mum got me a little photo card or photo book of my cat from beginning to now, from when we first adopted her to her now. So I have a photo in here somewhere. Yep. This is a very embarrassing photo. I don't look anything like this now, as you can probably tell. But my mum took this photo of me and my cat. That's my cat. Oh, Luna. That's Luna. And then that's me. And as you can probably tell, I've lost a little bit of weight since then. I don't look like that no more. So, may not look like it to you, but to me, I'm like, damn, I've lost a shit ton of weight. That's crazy. But I was that was me asleep during the day because that's the only time I could sleep because I was sleeping on a sofa, as you could probably tell. And I didn't see my cat for months until just before, or like a year basically, until just before we moved in here. So anyway, we were staying in a 1-bedroom flat for a year, and I was sleeping on a sofa during the day and getting up in the evening, and that's when Swarm would get home from work. So I mean, we talk all the time. We do now, obviously. We talk every day, but we don't always sit in a VC together anymore because I get tired. I fall asleep. He gets home from work. For me, it's like 4 a.m. So I'm tired as hell. I'm like asleep. I don't wake up until about 6 a.m. now, which is crazy, first of all, because Jesus Christ, I'm insane. And also just because time zones, just a crazy thing and all that kind of shit. And then it got to the end of 2022. We celebrated Christmas and then brought in the new year. And then it was April of 2023, which was last year, that we start to see movement in life that goes towards a good direction, which is why I'm sat right here in this room now. Let me give you kind of a play-by-play about what happened. So, beginning of the year, we heard whisperings on the wind of a flat that, or an apartment, whatever you want to call it, that my mum's friend Lizzie was going to be renting. And we were like, Miss Ma'am, please can we move in there? And she said, when do you want to move in? And we said tomorrow. And she said, we need to fix it up because let me tell you, this flat was destroyed before we moved in here. Lizzie fixed it up pretty good. I mean, she's okay, you know, she's all right. She's not a builder and she's not like a plasterer. She's not like a professional. We moved in April. My mum moved in before I did because we didn't have any Wi-Fi for the first, I think the first like 3 or 4 months we didn't have Wi-Fi in the flat, which sucked ass because I couldn't stream at all for like 3 or 4 months in any way, shape or form. I was watching YouTube videos that were downloaded in my downloads because I pay for YouTube Premium because of course I do. So I had a bunch of downloads in the thing. I watched a lot of Stan the Waterman during those 3 or 4 months. I am still unable to sit and watch a Stan the Waterman video. Much as I love the videos, I can't sit and watch it because I watched it so much during that time. Markiplier got me through it. I slept in my desk chair for a while because the bed that I had was broken and I couldn't sleep in it because every time I got into it the slats would move because the things weren't attached that you press in to keep them still. They weren't attached, so I didn't have a bed as I do now. I have a beautiful bed and it's very comfortable. But I didn't have a bed that I could sleep in. I had to kind of just deal with it and just get on with it. Because I was just grateful to have a place, like a room to myself. I didn't care. For the first time in a year and a half, I was just happy to just have my own room. For the first time in like a year. I had spent way too long sleeping on a sofa. And now I was going to sleep in a bed. And I was going to have some private time with my partner. And I was going to be I'm just ecstatic to be here. I'm still very grateful that life gave us these things and everything like that. Anyway, so last year was a blur because a lot of it was spent moving in. We didn't start fixing up the place until this year. Mental health issue as an excuse. It's a reason, but not an excuse. Yeah. I'm telling you, my mental health, amazing. I started seeing a therapist, and there were so many breakthroughs with her, because it turns out I have panic disorder. That's crazy. I was they were like, yeah, this is what you have then. If you agree with all these symptoms, that's what you have, dude. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know I had panic disorder. Turns out I have that. Was diagnosed with that last year. That's crazy. I probably have bipolar because they've referred me to a psychiatrist to see in July, which is what's happening. I'm being diagnosed with whatever it is that I possibly have. It's either psychosis or bipolar. They're not really sure yet. Because I have hilarious little hallucinations. It's great. You know, I've never been happier than when I cut him out of my life. All of that happened summer last year. And that was crazy. And then after that, my life, I genuinely, the day after I cut certain people out of my life, I'm not joking when I say this, I genuinely saw the sun differently. I saw everything differently. I heard the birds. It was so weird. It was like a cloud had just gone away. I reconnected with friends that I couldn't hang out with because of Moshi. I rekindled my appreciation for art and doing my art and all that kind of stuff. I rekindled my love for Minecraft again. It took me a couple months to play Minecraft, but I played it, and I rekindled my love for it. I now have a group of friends. I started meeting friends from other communities and other places who I still have now. Like, I met them back in November and I've still got them as friends. And they've never been toxic.
Ooh, thanks for getting something else. I'm gonna put all their names on the screen right now, by the way. The friends that I'm talking about in this section of the video. They are all amazing people, and I love all of them. They have genuinely, I can't express enough how much they've helped me. I appreciate those guys so fucking much. These are all their names. I will leave their links in the description as well. Go follow them on Twitch. Go watch their streams. They are insanely cool and so much fun to be around, and I love them so fucking much. Go follow, because I love them. So, anyway. Back to the me on the screen right there. Back to the me. Okay, goodbye.
I've had no issues with these friends. We even have a Minecraft server together, and it's going well. None of us have had arguments. There've been no fights. Do you know why? Because there don't need to be. We've made our own factions on this server because it's lore-based, right? We've made our own factions. We've built our own things. And we've done it in our own little areas, which means that we're not in each other's way and we're not, like, taking anything down. There's no griefing. There's no arguments. We big each other up when we're building stuff. We're like, damn, that looks so good. You're doing so good. Like, we are so supportive of each other, and it's amazing to have a supportive group of friends in a lore-based server that just, it just hits different, bro. It hits different. So nice to be part of a group of friends who are not horrible with my mental health. And now we're part of, like, an 18 plus Minecraft server where only 18 plus people can join, which is amazing and awesome. And I have this group of friends who are just so supportive and so nice. Just everything. And I'm so happy now. I've never been happier in my life. I have great friends. I have a great fiance, everything like that. I'm gonna give you a little bit of an update of, like, recent times. Back in April, me and Swarm brought in my friend and now girlfriend, Bunny, into our little polycule. Bunny is another streamer. She is a fellow streamer who I've known for ages and had a crush on for too long. And he also, Swarm had a crush on her for quite a while, and we are both like, so we see if we can bring her in. And she was like, well, I can't say that I don't have a crush on you. I can't say that I'm not attracted to you. And I was like, damn, okay. So we brought her in, and she's now part of our polycule and has been for almost 2 months. There's been a couple of health issues that I've been dealing with. Number one, I have to have a hot water bottle behind me at all times. Alright, I have to. I'll show you. Hang on. This is my hot water bottle. His name is Steve. He's very, very helpful. I like my water bottle. My hot water bottle. He needs changing actually, because he's kind of gone a bit. He's warm. He's tepid. He's not hot no more. Baby, you're meant to be hot for me. You're not meant to be tepid. You're meant to be hot. God damn it. It's fine. I'll just go refill him. It's fine. I have to have a constant hot water bottle behind me, because otherwise my back kills. My entire back. Not just my bottom of my back. Like my entire back. Also, I have been having sharp, horrible pain. And when I say pain, I don't get pain very easily. I've had 3 tattoos, none of which hurt as much as the pain that is in my ribs does whenever it happens. As quickly as it's there for like 2 or 3 hours of agony. And when I say agony, there's no comfortable position to be in. I can't lie on the floor. I can't sit in my chair. I can't stand up. I can't do anything. Literally, I have to like move every 2 seconds to find some form of comfortable position to sit in. This is what it's not fun, right? It's just a sharp pain in here, in between the ladies, and it's not fun. So we've cut out dairy, and I've cut out gluten from my diet, and that seems to have helped over the past, yesterday. But like for the 3, maybe 4 days before that, I was in excruciating pain in between my ribs, to the point where I cried to my mum that I was in pain and it wasn't fun. My joints hurt, which is hilarious. Love that for me. I am 27. Yeah, I'm 27, I think. Ma'am, I'm 27, right? Right? I'm 27. I'm 27 years old, almost 28. Gonna be 28 this year. Sadly, I have to ask my supporters for a bit of help with just some stuff. Essentially, I need to get it out there that I will need financial aid in order to move across the globe to where my partner is living, because it's going to get to a point where we're going to want to live together, and he even if he decides he wants to move here, I am going to be helping him with expenses to get over here. And if I'm moving over there, then I want to be able to put my own money towards it, or put my own money that I've earned towards it. And that means that I am going to be doing probably a donathon this year. And I won't stop streaming until I've hit the goal, which won't be very much, by the way. I'm not gonna be putting like £10,000. No. But the more you donate, the longer the stream will be, you know? With a limit of 48 hours. Because I like streaming, and I don't care. I will sleep on stream. I don't give a shit. I'm happy to do that. I don't really care. Swarm's coming to visit in September. I'll probably do a video with him and do a stream with him and all that fun stuff, and yeah. But thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching. Peace. See you later. Have fun. See you later. Okay, bye-bye. I have Twitch. Go follow my Twitch, and I'll be streaming.